I hear a lot of talk today on YouTube and in person from people who believe that a civil war is imminent, that the subject and the circumstances around such a civil war is around a fight for freedom and liberty, with the background being support of the Second Amendment. And I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment. But to those people who are doing the drumbeat of civil war, most of them are on the liberty, Second Amendment side of the conversation. I don't know how many of those people have been on a battlefield and seen rended bodies and smelled what death looks like. I don't know. I have. All you have to do is look at the final battle in Syria for the last piece of land that ISIS had. And you can just imagine what that would look like in a civil war inside this country. People who have not seen that and lived through it and done it need to just be still. Just be still about that conversation, because that's a genie that you don't want to let out of the bottle again. Now, of course, there would be supporters who are currently in the military, currently who are in law enforcement, who would abscond with some of the higher end weapons of war. I'm including tanks, artillery pieces, fighter aircraft, those kind of things. Of course, there are people who would take those, and it would kind of equalize the equation. But at the end of the day, such a revolt would fail, especially if it's around this idea that our freedom and our freedom as relates to the Second Amendment is part of it. Why? Because there is not a single civil war ever that was successful that did not also have the support of a third-party nation-state actor. In other words, some other country who agreed with you and would stand to benefit if you won. Consider, there is not a single country in the world that is going to risk their money or bodies to support the Second Amendment of the United States. All of them want to see that go away. All of them. So those who think they're going to have a civil war around that theme will have, nobody's coming. Nobody's coming, guys. Nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to give you money. Nobody's coming to rearm you, because they want to see this movement end. Because the Second Amendment movement in the United States is literally the last bastion of freedom. And there is no country that would want to see that continue. None. So if you have no external support, no external money, no external resupply, no help with intel, none of that, you're just going to die tired. You're just going to die tired. We in the Second Amendment community have no international supporters. And there's not enough of us who, on a good day, could be successful without that kind of support in any kind of civil uprising, as grandiose as it might seem to some. So I say, there's some people say we can't vote ourselves into success. I believe we can. But if you think that an armed conflict to fight for the things that you believe in is going to be successful, that dog's not going to hunt. So I ask you to think again. Think about looking down the street and seeing nothing there but burned out bodies and buildings and cars. Think about living in a hole for 5, 6, 7 years because you don't want to be found out. Think about losing all or most of your family. Think about that. And think about nobody coming to help you. Just some thoughts. As always, thanks for watching. Carry on.